and the number is like, I think it's like 2,900 a week, but that was on a good week, you know. So hey, I'm gonna be talking about how much I make a week. So what is up, guys? First I gotta go take a shower, then I'll come back and then I'll talk about it. So yes, let's go take a shower. Look at this view. Look at this beautiful view. Look at this view. While I came out early, it was like kind of bright sunset. Now it's just dark. When you look at everywhere, look at this. Like, it's just dark, bro. Basically, I made $2,900 for last week, and that was a good week. You know, usually as a company driver, it depends on what companies you work for and you know how good the dispatch is and all that things. But I did do 2,900, which is good. So yeah, I'll tell you more about how I did that and all that. So yeah, I'm gonna go in the truck and then we'll talk about it. All right, so the week started from 7/16. That's the statement date, 7/16, July 16. So the week started from July 5 to July 11. That's 1 week. Okay. So the first load I did, I was in Georgia. I went to Virginia. That was gross was $1,550. And I am a company driver, so my rate is, I could either do cents per mile or percentage, and I chose to do percentage, and my percentage is 30%. And for those 30%, I did 519 miles, and my rate per mile was 2.99. And what I made for my part for the 30% was $465. And then the second load I did was July 6, and dropped it off at July 7, which was $1,200 gross. 30% was $360, and I did 422 miles, and my RPM for that load was 2.84. The third load I did, I went from New Jersey to South Carolina, which was paying $1,400 gross, and 30% of that was $420 that I made. And this load was not the best load because it was only paying $2.11 a mile, but still, you know, it's still garbage, but at the same time it adds to the total amount of money I made for the week. And then the fourth load was from South Carolina to Texas, and that one was paying good, and that gross was $3,600, and I did 1,100 miles, and that took me 2 days, so about like 550 each, and I was paying $3.26 a mile, and I made $1,080 in just 2 days. Now, when you think about it like that, it's good, but when you think about it like, oh, you know, I only made like $200, $300, and that's not good. But then the final load I did was from Texas to Indiana, and that was 2,000 gross, and I had to do 1,000 miles. So that took 2 days also, and that was it. Like, I think I delivered that Saturday just before the pay cut, because the paycheck starts from Sunday to Saturday. So when I delivered that Saturday, it just like barely snuck in, so it was a really good week. And yeah, for that load also I said 2,000 gross, 1,000 miles. That one was really bad. It was only paying 1.97 a mile. So like, if you do the math, that's like less than 70 cents a mile, and which is not good. But I mean, I did make 600 for my part. And let's do the total numbers. So the total numbers was $9,750 gross, 3,722 miles. Total driven rate per mile was 2.62. That's RPM, rate per mile. So that's like the average of all the loads. And the total amount I made was $2,925. And let me tell you guys, like, this is not always normal, because sometimes you can have a good week and then sometimes you can have a bad week. It just depends on, the week you have. Yeah, it just depends on, it depends on the week and how the brokers, book your load, and how the dispatch you, because sometimes you can have problems and sometimes you can't. So yeah. And also let me know in the comments, like, what do you guys think is a good pay for 1 week? And if you guys are thinking about starting, getting your CDL or starting trucking, you should, because I've only got my CDL for less than 6 months. I'd say like I've had my CDL since April, so April, May, June, July, like 4 months. I've had my CDL for 4 months, and I'm making decent money. It's better than what I used to make. And yeah, if you guys want to do the same thing, you gotta sacrifice a lot while you're on the road. But you don't really have to be on the road if you don't want to. Like, if you want to be close to your family, you guys can do local. Just drive local. You might be making less money because as a new driver, no experiences, companies don't want you, this and that. So yeah, if you guys have connections with people, that'll definitely help. And yeah, just let me know how you like the video, if there's any improvements that I need to make. I'm always open to feedback. So yeah, that was how much I made in a good week as a trucker. And I will be doing a video next week, or like in a couple of days, and posting and saying how much I made as a bad week, like as a trucking for bad week. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you guys.